All right, welcome back to the TCI studios. We've got a tired guy sitting here beside me, Bryce Teodosio. If you watched the game last night, inside the park home run, threw in a couple of triples, had a home run the night before, just barely missed the second home run, just maybe a couple of foot foul that would have maybe changed that game.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk first off about last night's game. Obviously, it didn't mean anything, but I was just impressed with how many Clemson fans were there to support you guys.
Absolutely, yeah. It was awesome just, with the whole COVID thing going on, and the Doug hasn't been packed out like it usually has, and just seeing all the support up in Charlotte, it was incredible. It was an unbelievable atmosphere.
All right, now we got to talk a little bit about the game. Obviously, we'll vote later this week, but I certainly expect you to make the all-tournament team. Obviously, the games didn't go the way you wanted as far as making it to the semis, but you had to be thrilled with what you put out there for the scouts.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I thought we had a very, very competitive first game as well, and it was just great to have the bats hot this weekend. It was a lot of fun to watch a lot of different guys do great things on our team, and last night was a good W for us, even though, like you said, it didn't mean a whole lot, but it was a good way for us to end the season considering. So.
All right, I think Sam told me you guys got home like 2 o'clock or something.
Yes,
I got
sir.
back about 1:30. What was that bus ride home like, knowing, hey, this is my final time with some of these guys?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty tough. I mean, all these guys, we spend every single day with them. I mean, they're my brothers. It was sad. I mean, we obviously went out with a win, which was a happy moment for us. But we just tried to enjoy it the last bus ride. So it was a tough bus ride home. But we're just moving on to the next chapter of life.
Well, let's ask you about the next chapter. Obviously, things are a little bit different this year. Usually the draft is here a couple weeks down the road. When the season's over, you guys have a pretty good wait till July. What are you going to do between now and when the draft rolls around?
Yeah, right now I'm just thinking about just training, getting stronger, hitting a little bit here and there, and just trying to prepare myself for July. Hopefully big things for July. We'll see.
What have you heard from the scouts? I mean, there absolutely could not be a better center fielder as far as fielding goes than what you did this year. Just Sports Center almost every night. And obviously you had your best season at the plate. Showed incredible power there in the ACC tournament and different times during the season. Are you hearing a lot more positive things from the MLB teams?
I've been in touch with a few guys here and there. Nothing crazy yet. But we'll see. I've talked to guys in the past, and I mean, there's a decent amount of guys that like me, so I'm just hoping for the best. So we'll see.
All right. Obviously, your career didn't go where you wanted as far as getting to super regionals, getting to Omaha. From a player standpoint, obviously there's a lot of folks out there talking about what Clemson needs to do differently and how do they get to where they are back to being a level of team that can go to supers and go to Omaha. From a player's perspective, what do you see that needs to change?
That's a really tough question. I think all of our coaches are doing everything they possibly can to set us up for success. I mean, we work our tails off day in and day out. I'll be honest, I really don't have like a specific answer for you. I just think we need to continue to keep working and stay positive. I mean, that's the biggest thing. This year was a lot different than most years with COVID. Not that that's an excuse, but that's just the matter of the fact. And I just think we got to keep working and stay positive, and all the fans out there just to stick with the Tigers and just be as positive supporters as you can be.
Well, you mentioned COVID. Let's talk a little bit about that. Obviously, it shortened your season last year. You guys got off to a great start last year, and then boom, you got to stop. This year, you're having to go play with no fans and all the stuff, protocols you guys have to go through. What was that like?
It was completely different. I mean, looking back in the fall, we didn't step foot in the locker room not one time. So like that whole like team chemistry thing was a lot different in the fall. I mean, I didn't really even get to make a whole lot of relationships with some of the incoming pitchers this fall just because we weren't around them at all. I mean, we lifted at different times, we practiced at different times, so it was a lot different. once we finally were able to get back in the locker room in the springtime, it really meant a lot to us. I mean, we really enjoyed that time with each other, and we were grateful for just things starting to get back to normal. So hopefully next year those guys won't have to deal with some of the stuff that we dealt with this fall and parts of the spring.
Looking back on your career, always a hard question, but what are some of your favorite memories at Clemson?
That's a great question. Last night was definitely one of them. I mean, obviously, like you said, we didn't go out on a real high note with the whole season, but last night was an awesome moment, not only for me, but just a lot of my teammates: James Parker, Kier Meredith, Sam Hall, Elijah Henderson, all those guys, my brothers. I mean, it was an unbelievable night just to get that W and see a lot of guys have success last night. I'd say another really cool moment was my very first game as a freshman. Just winning that game opening day, coming back from behind, getting on base late in the game and scoring the winning run. That was probably one of my most memorable moments as a Tiger. It was a really special moment for me, being a kid from Simpsonville who's dreamed about coming to play here my whole entire life. So it's been an absolute blessing playing here at Clemson.
Talk to me a little bit about the bond that you guys have on the team. Obviously, you mentioned COVID hurt some of that. It's building some of those relationships, but you played with Kier and Sam and a lot of these guys for a number of years now. Talk to us about how you're going to carry those relationships for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even describe how close we are. I mean, we're all with each other. I mean, probably 10 hours a day doing different stuff, whether it's in the weight room, on the field, outside of the field, eating at a restaurant. We're always with each other, and that's just something that it's hard to replicate in life. Just the amount of time that we're with each other. And so just moving on, I mean, I'm obviously going to keep in touch with them. And these guys are going to be in my wedding one day. They're brothers to me. I've been roommates with Elijah for 4 years, and he's been my main man. So it's been awesome just getting to know so many different guys from all over the country, and continuing that brotherhood is going to be awesome and fun down the road.
Obviously, Clemson's a special place. You talked about the baseball side of it. Graduation obviously had to be a big deal for you. Just talk about the non-athletic experience at Clemson.
Yeah, I mean, I had a great non-athletic or an academic experience here. I was just very, very happy to graduate this year, and having, like I said, just a lot of guys that came into Clemson with me graduate too was awesome to see. I really was hoping to leave after 3 years just based on playing professional baseball, but I'm glad I got my degree, and it's hopefully going to set me up for success later in life. And getting a Clemson degree is a big deal, so I'm very thankful for that.
All right, we're going to thank Bryce for joining us here in the TCI studio, and we look forward. Bryce, we enjoyed covering you here at Clemson, and look forward to covering you hopefully in the major leagues one day.
Thank you, Robert. Special. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, man.